Fire.
I like the logo. Nice AI, but it's still cool.
Thank you.
I mean, my logo is AI too. So. Well, sort of. I designed it and put it through AI filter.
Nice.
So that way I can be like, hey, it's my actual artwork, sort of.
I'm just lazy, and I don't have the money to afford hiring.
It's fine. I think for logos, I think it's fine. You're not really.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Joe,
You're not dealing directly.
Joe, come on, dude. Joey, you can't be in my face now. Come on. Hey guys, welcome back into Legacy. Sorry about that. This is what happens when you have a pit bull. You get Velcro dog. Today we're going to sit down with Mike Yow, who is happily joining us. I'm going to say happily. I actually dragged him kicking and screaming. He's actually chained up in my basement.
Yeah, I mean, I do tricks for treats.
But either way, we're going to talk about Red Sun. Let him talk about Red Sun, and also just a little bit of SK, because why not?
Yeah.
And because I know when Mad Scribe was on Second Watch, he talked about your stuff a little bit.
Yep.
So that was a lot
Mad
of fun.
Scribe is good peeps.
Yeah, he seems like a really good guy. That Epstein story was pretty wild.
That's my buddy Chris. He's got some wild stories.
But just to get started, let's get started with the basics, because there are going to be people who watch the channel don't know who you are. Unfortunately, we do have a lot of people we know that'll probably wind up watching. But go ahead and jump into what Fire in the Head is, because that's your company. You know what Red Sun and SK, all that fun stuff is, so people kind of know who you are.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Kyle. So I run a little company called Fire in the Head Productions. Kind of like Kyle has Legacy Game Mastering, I have Fire in the Head Productions. We also produce theater in the area as well, but it did start as a game design company, and the first game, I guess the flagship game, was Savage Kingdoms from 12 years ago. And I'm currently working on the 4th edition. In fact, it's pretty much ready, like 97%. And then eventually, over the last couple of years, I developed Red Sun, which is set in the same setting, actually. It's just 2,500 years before. So it's more of a Bronze Age Odyssey sort of setting, more a classic pulp sword and sorcery setting than even Savage Kingdoms is. Because Savage Kingdoms honestly kind of morphed into less sword and sorcery, and now I call it a Dark Ages fantasy role-playing game.
Yeah. And I've actually played Savage Kingdoms. I have not had a chance to play Red Sun.
Yeah, Kyle's played a couple sessions. Yeah, no Red Sun yet.
Yeah,
it's still in play testing, so everybody knows. I play tested it the last 2 or 3 Dragon Cons. So, and it is scheduled for publication by Mad Scribe Games. It's just that they are a bit backlogged. In fact, I think Rob Kuntz, I think I can say this, his stuff is being currently laid out, designed, and
yeah, he was talking with Mad Scribe the other day on Twitter. So,
oh, cool. Okay, so I can say that. I don't have to be killed for it.
No, but they're talking to each other. So,
yeah. But for those of you at home, Mad Scribe is Chris Miller and his wife Candace. I mean, it's really him. He does, like me, he does occasionally have extra helpers. But it's like Fire in the Head Productions is pretty much me.
Yep.
When theater's my wife is kind of part of it. Just like Legacy, I think, is pretty much Kyle, right?
It's just me. I do have some people helping me get some other features added in, but 98% of it is just me. Which makes me wonder why I have any viewers. But
yeah, same. I mean, I've had a couple of people outside from me publish Savage Kingdoms Adventurers, but that's been a while since I've done a non.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I did a video talking about what it's like running a brand. You know, it's not like people think it is. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of little things that go into it that you don't realize. And I have a Substack article talking about it as well, where I talk about, people think that running a YouTube channel is just as easy as just getting in front of a camera and shooting it. Oof, I wish.
So much more to it. I talk
Mhm.
about that in the just so people know I'm an actor as well. So in the acting industry, it's what I call an iceberg industry. Probably like gaming, like people see the 5 or 10% glamorous iceberg above the water. They don't see the other 95% of the
Yeah.
toil and the
Yes.
heartache and
The hours you spend reading scripts and
yeah,
choosing which ones you're going to try
rehearsing,
for and all that fun stuff. And
rehearsing, auditioning.
the worst part is getting turned down.
Yeah, I mean you kind of get used to it, but it's still
Still sucks.
annoying. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Uh, but Red Sun, so I know just enough about it to be dangerous. Have not had a chance to get through the whole book because life is coming at me fast right now. Uh,
Yeah, no problem.
like my last week was a nightmare. My car decided that the battery was going to go out. It was going to corrode out. It corroded the post terminal. It corroded the post terminal fuse box, and then the starter seized all
Great.
in a week.
Fun
So yeah,
times.
yeah. So I'm about $700 deep on a repair. That's with me doing the work.
Whew,
Yeah, not happy.
dude.
Very very unhappy right now.
Oh man.
um, yeah, so it's pretty wild. But Red Sun is a D8 dipole system, which is very different because the D8 is one of those dice that doesn't get enough love. Um, I'm a big fan of the D8 because of uh, Mantic Games. They have moved most of their miniatures games to the D8, which is awesome because D8s give weird bell curves. um, oh, sorry about that. But
Blue
the
Kyle.
the D8 gives some weird bell curves. I really appreciate the D8 bell curve um, quite a bit uh, because it winds up each side on the D8 is 13% roughly chance.
Yeah, 12.5. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. I couldn't do the
I'm
math in my
sorry
head.
you broke up there for a second. You
Oh,
broke up
you're
there
good.
for a second. But were you asking about the D8 dice pool system?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a dipole system, correct? If I'm correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's a
It's using
it's a D8 dice pool system.
yep,
And it started as a D6 system, but then I realized there wasn't as much you can do, and plus too many other games
yep.
use D6s. So I discovered this wonderful.
Yep.
And I was challenged myself to use a system of dice that don't
Yep.
use very often.
Yes, I'm a huge fan of I'm a huge fan of alternative dice systems, like little used dice. I really am. I think more people should be using the off dice. I'd love to see somebody do like a pure D4 system. You know, double it as caltrops, but scout bug, you're in the way. Sorry, I got a cat in the way now. Uh, it's not one animal; it's another right now. But as far as the system goes, though, walk through the system because, like I said, I haven't had a chance to really sit down and read the whole system. So I don't want to misrepresent the system at all. And you just dropped. Great. Sorry about this, guys. We're having some technical issues here. Internet, internet, internet. You gotta love it. Technology. Uh, oh, great. Oh, and like I said, he's having some tech issues here. So move, cat, move. Ah, hey, sorry, guys. We're trying to resolve these tech issues on our end here. Yeah, sorry, guys. Hopefully, we can get him back here in a minute. Apparently, his system locked up. Give us a second, guys. I apologize. That's not something we normally have happen here. Yeah, it's funny. Technology. His computer's been having some problems. Of course, he's using Windows. So if you guys are not aware, I dropped Windows about 5 months ago, and have not looked back because Windows is a nightmare hellscape. So I switched over to Linux because of this type of problem where Windows will do whatever it basically wants to do and causes all kinds of problems when you're trying to do things. So see if we can get him back here. We're working on the back. So guys, sorry about this. We're working on the back end. See if we can get back. There he is.
Oh,
There we go.
that was so weird.
Yeah, this thing hates you. Your computer hates you, Mike. That's all there is to it.
So one of my buddies, Jeremy, trying to get on here, said it was your end, but I thought it was mine.
No. I'm not getting any glitches on my end at all.
I think it's my computer being weird.
Yeah, I think it's Windows. Anyways, what I was asking you a second ago was because I haven't had a chance to really get through the system because of just life events and everything. Do you want to walk people through how the D8 system works and everything? That way that they get an idea for how the game plays.
Yeah. So it's a D8 dice system. I think I was saying this before I broke up.
Yep.
So I started with D6s, and I wanted to do a dice pull system because traditionally, I will admit, I'm more of a linear. I'm more of a single die person through history of gaming. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself to do a dice pull system. So I started with D6s, and I realized they were kind of limited. Because it's just 1 to 6, and plus a lot of other games were using D6s as well. So I challenged myself to do a D8 system. Besides, D8s don't get a lot of love. And I found out it's pretty cool because you get obviously a bigger range than a D6, but less range than a D10, which is fine.
Yeah.
And so basically what you're trying to do is pretty simple. You're trying to hit a difficulty rating, which is usually a number between 4 and 8. And yeah, and then you can get multiple successes, which can give you better results, particularly in like combat or sorcery. In fact, if you get 4 successes, that's a heroic success, and you would roll like on a special table. If it's combat, you could shatter the guy's shield or disarm him or smash his teeth in, or something cool like that. Yep. And then if it's sorcery, you could like cast a spell to where it has a greater effect, or you save stamina points, or both. So yeah, so just basically, I know that's a lot, but basically you're just counting number of successes, and in most cases, 1 success is enough to do whatever you want to do.
Okay, so it's almost, not quite, but almost like playing Old World of Darkness with the
D10s.
Yeah, with the D10s, and
yeah, I think it is pretty similar. Yeah. Pretty similar. And then in combat, because I know people probably want to ask, like, well, how do you do combat? So it's pretty simple, actually, and I think it's sort of clever. So every number of success that you score is a point of damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but everything's really scaled down numerically.
Mm-hmm.
So a point of damage is like a light wound. To put a D&D spin on it, like, of course, D&D has the weird scaling hit point thing, but it would be like a 5 or 6 point damage blow, I guess, on average.
Okay.
And so and then up to a maximum damage of your weapon. For example, a great axe can do up to 5. A dagger can only do up to 2. And there's ways around it with certain skills and weapon qualities and stuff like that. But essentially, that's how it works.
Yeah, and that's a kind of a common thing, a little bit of a common thing right now with that's something I've always loved with Savage Kingdoms is the maximum weapon damage being tied to the weapon type.
Yeah.
Of course. I always played semi-insane characters when I played in your Savage Kingdoms games.
Yeah, right.
So,
and I tried to scale. Well, Savage Kingdoms probably scales a little bit better. Like you could kill the person with a dagger strike, which is probably somewhat real. Although in a real fight, killing someone with a dagger actually would be extremely rare if you know what you're doing, but that's a whole different story. Whereas in Red Sun, it's hard to be killed by a single dagger strike, but there's other ways you can dice, spears and
Okay.
broadswords.
Of course, we can't talk the Savage Kingdoms world without talking the different cultures and races. Are you intending to add in the Eastern races and stuff eventually, or are you just going to keep it to the core races at this point, the core lineages?
Oh, for Red Sun, they're already there in the core book.
Are there? Okay.
East and West and the whole.
I must have missed the Quarites, who are my favorite people ever.
Yeah, they're from the East. They're from Hassan, which is the Eastern continent. And in Red Sun, they still exist because they're a very ancient culture.
Yep.
And they will exist in Savage Kingdoms later on. Spoilers, unless somebody plays a campaign where they're destroyed or something. But canon-wise, they're still there.
I love playing the Quarite. The Quarites are fun. Horse archers, man.
Yeah, it's one of the horse cultures. Them and the Yuns and the Irish.
I still secretly want to run a Sleer campaign, but
Yeah, right. Those of you at home, the Sleer or the Serpent, or like a Serpent race, Serpent man.
Yeah, right? Serpent people. So the Serpent people are fun, and they're kind of evil, but Yeah,
because it's not sword and sorcery without Serpent folk. Let's be honest.
Hey, where else would also Doom be?
Right. Oh, I'm now on the computer and on the phone. So
that is weird.
I don't know if you can hear all the feedback.
Yeah, I can. Actually, I hear the feedback for some reason, but I don't have your computer in the stream. So there we go.
Okay.
I turned it down all the way, so we shouldn't be getting feedback.
Yeah, I just clicked out of it too.
Okay, cool.
I see my Red Sun posters on the wall, everyone behind me. A couple of banners.
There we go. Yeah, so Red Sun's going to be but Sword and Sorcery, like I said, it's also Doom. Think if people at home want to know what to think when we say Sword and Sorcery, we're very much talking the original REH Conan.
Oh yeah,
Fritz Leiber, yeah, those
Robert E. Howard being the grandfather of it all, of course.
Yeah, very much. That's where we're headed with this thought process. Now, something I couldn't figure out fast enough. It's not really class based, but you, if I'm not mistaken, you do take basically a job when you're creating your character, correct?
Yeah, it's called a calling. Correct. You choose a calling, and it kind of guides you into certain things, but it's not as restrictive as a class. So it's like a hybrid, really. It's kind of like, and in fact, the new Savage Kingdoms does the same thing. So I've finally been able to distill all this stuff into what I really want in a game, I think. For the most part,
And one of the things that I know you're good at, or good for, is your skill base is going to be very broad as far as what's available.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that's my problem with pure class-based systems. Is you get too pigeonholed into something that's hard to get out of. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of that too, because I used to play GURPS some, and that was wide open. And so everybody would end up with these really weird characters that made no thematic sense. And so I always felt like, hey, there's a kind of an in between way to do that, and that's what I've tried to do with Savage Kingdoms and Red Sun as well.
Mm-hmm. As far as the skills go, Magic, of course, with your games has always been treated like a skill almost. It's very skill based.
Right.
That's true in Red Sun as well.
Yeah, it does the same thing. I'm a huge into universal systems. Kyle, I don't like clunky. To me, systems are clunky if you're using this sorcery has its own system, or combat has its own system, or social has its own system. So it's all pretty unified. Yeah, so just like any skill, if you want to cast a spell, you have to make, in Savage Kingdoms, it's a magical art. There's 7 different disciplines of magical art. Red Sun still has that too, because it is the same setting.
Okay.
But you're doing it with a D8 dice pool instead of a D20.
Instead of the D20. And now modifiers for Red Sun are going to work a lot different. Are the modifiers based on dice rather than strict bonuses? How are your modifiers handled?
Yeah, you're exactly right. A modifier in Red Sun is just an extra die.
Okay.
And I think it's why the kids connected so well with it today, because it's pretty, like, you can teach the system in like 5 or 10 minutes. And SK is pretty easy too, but it's just a little bit more of a learning curve.
Yeah. Well, in SK, you're dealing with more numbers, less.
Cognitive load.
Yeah. It's a little more cognitively overloaded.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the systems that I'm getting into is Promethean Games Promethean system, and it uses bonus dice. And everything, when it says you get a +1 or whatever to a roll, it gives you plus bonus dice rather than giving you strict bonuses.
That's really cool. I was actually tinkering with something like that for Red Sun, and even for SK 4th edition. I was going to do a D20 with it, and I was just like, well, I get to the point where I was like, I didn't really quite understand the point that I was trying to do with it. So I was like, but I was pretty happy with the D8 system, and I'm still pretty happy with the SK one, even though there's a little bit more cognitive load. It's not that bad. I mean, it's no worse than 5e having rolled 87,000 dice,
and there's less bonuses and stuff in SK. So
yeah, I mean, they're there, but they're scaled down a little bit.
Scout, honey, you're all over your dad, bud.
Yeah,
I got a cat all over me now. So
I mean, there are worse things. I like cats. We have 2.
I've got 4 in the house right now, but one of them's getting ready to go home.
Oh, none's in my study with me right now. I'm doing my own thing. I think they're down there with Mama. Down below this.
Yeah, well, that's probably a good thing. I wish mine would leave me alone. They only do this when I'm recording videos and stuff. So,
of course.
So, but yeah. So as far as Red Sun goes, it's definitely it's a departure from what I'm familiar with your games, but it's not complicated. Like I said, I've had a chance to look through the book. I just haven't had a chance to deep dive it like I need to.
Right.
But good question here. Is alchemy going to work kind of similar to how alchemy worked in SK with messing with the alchemical systems and the different flowers and all that fun stuff that I may or may not have poisoned somebody in a convention game with?
Yeah, it's pretty similar because, again, it's the same setting, so I have to keep certain themes going, even though mechanically they might be a little different. But yeah, alchemy is a big thing. Not as big. So alchemy, of course, like in the standard pulp sword and sorcery stuff, Robert E. Howard, probably the best example. If you remember from those stories, it's very weird. Like, it's not as much science-y alchemy. It's almost like really another form of sorcery that's just kind of distilled into elixirs and powders and stuff. So I'm trying to approach it more like that. Where in SK, it's not necessarily science-y because it is Dark Ages, but it's a little more so. And then you've got the certain lotus plants. You've got black or death lotus and dream lotus and blood lotus, and they're semi-magical plants in the setting. They do pretty cool, crazy things if you can distill them properly and make stuff out of them. And then there's also your standard alchemy, like making acids and poisons and stuff like that.
If I'm not mistaken, I used a white lotus in one of your convention games because somebody was going crazy, and I poisoned him with white lotus and dragged him out of a cave by his ankle.
I seem to remember that. I think it was purple lotus. White lotus is actually a healing plant.
Okay. Couldn't remember what color it was. It was one of the lotuses, though. I crammed it down his throat and made him pass out.
If it made him pass out, it was probably black or purple, or also known as death or desert lotus. But yeah, and white lotus only grows in the north in the snow.
Yes.
I wanted to make that like really weird.
Something else that's curious for people who are curious about this SK kind of the world. It's very analogous as far as different cultures go. So it's not hard to pick up on the cultures at all.
Yeah.
You have your Roman analog, you have your ancient Greek analog. Korites are like almost a mix of Hun and Cossack.
Cossacks, yeah.
So
yeah, Red Sun, very similar, but reach a little bit even further back to the Bronze Age.
Okay.
And I would say, and there's even some cultures in Red Sun that I deliberately did. They're not really analogous. Like they're
Mhm.
It's really like, what the heck are these people? Like the Galadorian Empire, for example.
Mhm.
The closest thing to them would be like the Meldemodians from Fritz Leiber, from Elric stories.
Okay. Okay.
They're kind of weird, like what's white haired. They have sort of fey blood, but without calling it fey, because that's not very sword and sorcery. So it's kind of known as other blood. But anyway, yeah. But for the most part, like you said, kind of like SK, a lot of it is analogous to, with, or can be connected to some ancient cultures.
Yep. Yep. And that makes it does make the game a little more approachable, because, like I said, if you're coming to this game and you want to play a certain culture, or you're introducing somebody to this game, you can introduce that a lot of these cultures as, imagine a fantasy version of the Romans, imagine a fantasy version of the Vikings.
Right. Yeah, you're right. That's a good, what I call templating. Templating, it's a good shortcut. Like, especially for a convention game, you can literally say, like you said, like, oh, the Yuns are like the Mongolians, or the Laurentians are like the Romans. Other than a few other things like different deities and all these little details that we add. But for the most part, that's like 80% of it. And you kind of run with it.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, just so people know, my favorite cultures in the game, I've forgotten the name of them because I just lost it in my head. I like to play the Greeks, Greek analogy, the Islanders,
the Pridonians.
Thank you.
Yeah. Although in Red Sun they're Rhodonians.
Okay.
But anyway, it later become the Pridonians. It's like,
but I like to play the Pridonians. In SK, I play Pridonians, I play Laurentians, and I tend to play Korites.
Yeah, I know you like the Korites. Yeah, they're one of my favorite. I actually might like them even better in Red Sun, because they forced me to delve more into their culture. But yeah, I mean, and then there's R. Well, Savage Kingdoms R is like ancient Egypt, but in Red Sun, R doesn't quite exist yet. It's like an alliance of 3 city-states that eventually rebel against Sarkhan.
Okay, which will be good. And that's another interesting thing to bring up. Your world actually has a really good history built behind it. It's not. There's a lot of independent RPGs out there. Let's be honest with ourselves. A lot of them don't put a lot of thought into their backstory and stuff. A lot of them are more generic fantasy or generic sci-fi.
Right.
Your world actually has a full history included in it. So
yeah, it's pretty detailed. There's like a timeline and stuff. And you know how it is. You're a world builder too. So like, even all the stuff I have published, like there's still 90% that's either in my head or written down somewhere unpublished.
There is a question for you, Mike. Are there sea peoples?
Oh, there's a question. Oh, cool. Thank you, whoever. I know a couple of people said they were coming on. Sea peoples, like in the Odyssey. Is that reference?
I'm thinking that's probably pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, if you mean it like literally people that are maritime, that would be the Rhodonians in Red Sun, which will become the Pridonians. In other words, ancient Greek. And then the Viking type people, which are from the north, the Dracs. They're kind of getting into their long ships and stuff.
Okay.
At least there's one kingdom called Valnarok. There's an inland kingdom of Valnarok.
Okay.
But anyway.
First off, welcome, Sean. I can actually answer this question. It is not going to be OSR. I wouldn't say it's OSR compatible. It would take a lot of conversion, but a lot of the ideas behind how it plays are very OSR-esque. Very high lethality. Combat is a little more dangerous. Focuses more on role play, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to just run into combat and hide behind a bunch of hit points, because you don't really get those. I mean, they're there. I would say you need to rely more on armor, like in the literal sense, instead of like hiding behind a bloated amount of hit points or something like that. But
for sure.
Yeah, and since the cultures, there's a very ancient world honor system behind a lot of the cultures. You might see more stuff like single combats and stuff, which I really like. stuff like that. And obviously all your other combat scenarios are there like you would see in any other game, but single combat's like kind of a big thing between champions.
Yeah.
Because I just like that.
Here's an explanation for what this guy's asking about. The scapegoats for the downfall of the Bronze Age, the Sea People.
Yeah, the Sea Peoples, which we now know are either the Carthaginians, right, or the Phoenicians. But yeah, is there a Sea Peoples that do that in Red Sun? I mean, not really. So they all become what they eventually are. There's not like a overarching antagonistic boat culture necessarily. So at least human wise.
Yep. Yeah. Another question that you can answer here, Mike. Is the system crunchy or low rolls on the scale? My answer for it would be I would consider both your games to be kind of medium crunch. They're not too crunchy, but there's definitely crunch there, but they're also not like Pirate Borg.
Yeah, no, I would on a scale, because I've been asked this before. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say Savage Kingdoms. I know this is a Red Sun thing, throwing that out there. It's probably 6.5 or 7, and Red Sun's probably 6 or maybe 5.5. But what I try to do with Red Sun, and I tried to do it with Savage Kingdoms to a degree too, on its appearance, it looks like it's not super crunchy, but if you delve deeply, it actually kind of is. There's like a lot of things you can do with talents and skills and racial abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah, most definitely. Somebody giving you some love here, Mike. I'm excited about it. Mike has a brilliant mind.
Oh, what now? Sorry, I missed
that. They said they're excited about it because you have a brilliant mind.
Oh, thank you. Well, thanks, Mom. So I told my mom to come. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, whoever said that. But
I think Mike's bribing people.
Right. That's right.
All your extra money. All your extra money, you're bribing people. Like me, I pay all these people to like me. All my extra income.
Whatever works, right?
That's right. But yeah, as far as Red Sun goes, the setting itself is beautiful. The world is great. It seems like the system is very solid. Like I said, I wish I could have actually read the whole thing. Sorry, I'm breaking up a fight now. Scout hates everyone, and she especially hates this dog.
Oh.
She is my girl through and through. She's been with me since she was 12 weeks old, and she's 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And when you say 14 years and not 14 weeks.
Yeah, she's 14 years.
She's been with me for 2 weeks. So, you know what's funny? I was like talking about cats leaving me alone, and now they're both up here.
Okay. Mike, you need my PayPal for these compliments? Will you, handsome devil?
Wow, nice. I can't see who these people, because I probably
if my screen was not so bloody small, I could read the name. I'm on a 1480 by 920 resolution, so the text on my screen is like microscopic.
Because I'm on my phone
to read
now.
it. Yeah,
and so everybody knows I use a fairly old school phone because I don't like giant phones.
Yeah,
so it's even smaller.
Yeah,
for me, this is like I'm using like a 7 or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's sort of small.
Yeah. Sorry, clearing this out because that'll drive me nuts if I see it. But yeah, Red Sun is systematically, it's just very simple. It's not. We did a whole 2-hour stream on Roll's Complexity over the weekend, and we were talking about some of the best systems we've played are systems that appear to be very simple on their surface, but can be very complicated, very detailed on their layers, that they don't play simple. And that's something that a lot of the guys that float around me anyway seem to appreciate.
That's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good point. You know, it's funny too, because I really get into, and you probably do too, like game design philosophy now, or gameplay philosophy. I guess I've done this long enough where I start thinking about what's the psychological effect on the player, and not the character, but like the player. Yeah, how are they engaging with the fun? What do they like? Do they like more tactile stuff? Do they not like tactile stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm a big fan of that kind of, like I said, the way that you know me. I've told you for years, I really love SK. I wish you'd slow down. I'm glad you've slowed down a little bit, and you're being forced to slow down and releasing fourth edition. I'm getting tired of giving you $60 every couple of years.
Yeah.
More than that,
Right.
because I had to buy both the core book and the East book this time.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next one, by the way, spoilers, it's all going to be in the core rule book.
Okay, this is so you make my life happier. It's one expenditure this time.
Like, and then if it does okay, we'll do another one. But you know, I'll be honest though, I appreciate everybody's love, but these are pretty small games, like not.
Yeah. No. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing pricing wise, we're probably looking at about the same price wise, $60-$70 for the core.
Oh yeah, no, I'm trying to shoot for like 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
That won't be bad.
Like for charging. I know printing has definitely gone up.
Yeah. It has. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Scout, come on now.
So I say 50. I mean, I would say certainly no more than 55.
Yeah.
And it will be full color, everybody.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's going to be nice. Sorry, cat, come on. I like you, but come on.
for Red Sun, we're looking at between 250 and 300 pages. Savage Kingdoms would probably be 3 to 340.
Yeah, you kind of read my mind, because that's where I was going to go next. Is what size book are we looking at here physically?
Yeah.
I've got a 520 page book lying around here, and it doubles as a paving stone and a weapon.
So, if anyone breaks it between your book and Colby, you guys will be fine.
Who needs a gun when you have a 520 page role playing book?
A freaking bludgeoning weapon.
+2 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, I've kind of gone back and forth. So I was once in an era where I really liked the big book where it had everything. Now I'm not there anymore.
No.
I'm kind of a medium book, kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like 300 pages or so.
Yeah. That's we've actually had that discussion between me and friends about size of books and stuff, being that, like, ideally, if you can't fit your rules within 200 pages, then you probably have too many rules.
Yeah, that's actually a really good philosophy. I totally agree. Even with art.
Yeah.
Not that you have to have tons of art, but
well, and it's fine for me for a book to be like 400 pages if 200 of it is lore.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, and that's another good point about the game design philosophy. It's that these are reference books, right, to be used at the table, but at the same time, you want them to be like reads, like good reads that you could literally, because when I used to buy a D&D book when I was younger, and I would just sit there and read the whole thing as a novel, like the whole night or two.
Yep.
So I think in addition to being reference books, I think it's nice that we pay attention to, are they like pretty decent quality? Are they a decent read?
Oh, absolutely. And as far as that goes, kind of just switching gears a little bit, because I think we've kind of discussed Red Sun. Just talk a little bit about Savage Kingdoms, because it's currently out. There is a version of it out.
Yeah, 3rd edition.
Yeah. If anybody wants to play Savage Kingdoms, great game. Absolutely a lot of fun. Uses 1d20 for all of its mechanics, including combat. Combat is damage is derived based on the difference between the defense and the attack roll, and so there's nothing complicated about it other than if you can't do basic math, which basically means me.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the only cognitive stuff you have to really worry about in Savage Kingdoms is pretty much what you said. To use a combat example, so you roll a 22 on your longsword attack, which is the melee weaponry skill, and you might have a specialty in longsword, and that's another +2. In the new edition, it used to be +1. And then whatever you score over your opponent's defense, if you do score over, that's the base damage, and then your weapon might be modified by armor piercing. For example, a great axe has armor piercing 3, which is basically 3 points of bonus damage.
Nice. And then you're capped off by your weapon's max damage.
And each weapon has them. Right.
Again, that goes into the whole that there's more complexity than it appears on the surface, but
yeah, exactly. Once you delve into it, you're like, oh wow, this is actually pretty detailed. And weapons have different characteristics. You've got the mounted characteristic, and you've got reach, and all that kind of stuff. stuff. But
absolutely. But SK itself, though, super fun. If you want to experience Fire in the Head Productions game that's actually in print, you can get it from Drive Through RPG. It's, I think, $9.99 right now for the PDF.
For the PDF, yeah, I think it was $12.99. I think I dropped it like about a year ago or two.
Yeah.
And you could also still get the hardcover as well.
Yes, and that's POD, and I think that's going for 50 or 60.
Yeah, I don't even think it's. I think it's 45.
Is it less than that now? I haven't looked in a while, so
yeah. Occasionally, I get a sell every so often, and I'm very excited.
Yep. Yeah, and then
I might sell 1 or 2 a month now.
Yeah. Well, and then if you want to expand Savage Kingdoms 3, you have the East book, which is really, really good. That's actually one of the better Splat books I own.
Oh, cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I actually really enjoy the East. It's a whole different world.
Yeah, the Savage East.
Yeah, Savage East is a whole different world. Role playing in it. The cultures are a lot different. Very nomadic and things like that. Yeah. So it's a lot different.
A lot of desert, and if you're looking for your, kind of Persian, Arabic, Mongolian, sort of itch, even Far Eastern, it's all in there.
Yep. Yes, and it's directly compatible with the core book. So if you want to bring those cultures over to the West, it's doable. But Savage Kingdoms itself is just it's a super simple game, very fun, and definitely, like I said, if you're looking for a good independent game that has a great lore, if you're a lore hound like me, you won't be disappointed. The cultures have great history, the world has great history, and the game itself is pretty simple. It's not something you're going to regret picking up.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, it's just all 1d20.
Although I need to find my copy of SK3 and the Savage East because I kind of sort of don't have it on this computer.
Okay.
I don't know if I have it on my drive or not.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, so, and just to kind of throw this out there, the reason I came up with the 1d20 roll is honestly it came from, so an attack roll in like D&D. Mm-hmm. It's like, I guess you're tired of people like, I rolled a 23 and I guess an arm class of 11. I always thought like, what a waste, Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, that's really where it came from. I'm like, hey, what if I come up with a system with whatever numbers over is the base damage within the maximum damage of the weapon?
Well, and that's before we talk about the exploding dice on skill rolls.
Right. That's actually, I'm glad you brought that up because people might be thinking, well, you've got a ceiling there with a 20. It's like, well, you don't. If you roll a natural 20 in SK, it explodes, meaning that you get to roll again. Or in the new edition, you can choose to take plus 10 instead of rolling.
Yeah. Well,
so you could score, a 37 or something.
Yeah. I believe we had a game where I played that bard. I did a performance and I rolled like a 60.
Yeah.
And I still to this day am convinced. I am convinced that bard now officially owns that town.
I remember that. It was a Laurentian bard, if I recall.
Yeah, he was Laurentian
right?
No, he was Pridonian. Yeah, he's Pridonian, and he was going to join the Bard Guild. He hadn't quite met the requirements for the Bard Guild yet, but he was going to join the Bard Guild, and probably he did a performance. You're like, what are you doing with our downtime? I'm like, I'm just going to play, whatever. I'll probably roll like a 15. Next thing I know, it's like a 60.
Yeah, and so people wondering how, like, so in past editions, if you rolled a 20 again, which I think Kyle did,
yes,
again. Yes. However, I must say, I did cap it for 4th edition. You only roll one other time.
Oh, see, Mike, you make me sad. You make me sad when you say things like this.
But if you get 2 20s back to back, it doesn't explode anymore. That's mostly for cognitive math purposes. Yeah. But you do get +1 to luck if you do get back-to-back 20, which is a 1 in 400 chance. So it's not like it's happening a lot.
But yeah, it's like I said,
but I've seen 3 20s back-to-back.
Yeah, which I didn't pull off. I pulled 2, but
1 through 20.
Yeah, I think I pulled 2 off. But, But it's definitely the games are just definitely a lot of fun. I'm not saying it's just fluffy. Mike, been around you a long time. We've known each other, almost 15 years at this point. Geek, has it been that long?
think it's, well, I moved to Asheville area like 12 years, almost 12 years ago, 11 and a half.
So it's been about 10. About 10.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Something like that. So
yeah.
not quite 15, about 10. So about a
Yeah.
decade we've known each other. Honestly, I've had more fun playing your game than I have playing some of the mainline games at home.
Yeah.
I really have.
appreciate it. Yeah.
I really have. We can trade stories like that game you had us on the boat, and I decided to be mean and waited for a wave to come up, and I splashed the Shinari with water.
Of course, yeah.
Stampeding. You will never let me have camels again, because the last time you gave me camels, I stampeded them into a Shinari camp while riding behind them and ulating
Yeah.
in Korite.
That was fun. Everybody knows that Chinari is a lion folk in the setting.
They're
so yeah, there are non-humans, even though it's sword and sorcery ish. But they are not. They are optional, actually. So you could literally play a humanocentric, which is actually what I prefer, to be honest. Campaign if you choose.
I almost universally play humans. So when I play with you guys, and like I said, like we could trade those stories, but the truth is that the game itself is just a lot of fun. The talent system is a lot of fun. Being able to take like giant blooded or fey blooded, and you can get some really unique characters.
Yeah, by taking bloodline talents,
bloodlines and stuff, and it's not. If you are looking for a really basic fantasy RPG that really does, it's not, like you said earlier, it's not quite Conan-esque, but it's definitely Dark Ages, high lethality. Just a lot of fun to play, guys. I can't encourage you to check these games out enough, especially once Red Sun goes to production.
Hopefully in a couple months.
Yeah, it's worth your time. Mike is a good dude. Like I said, I've been around him too long. I can't help but say that.
I'm sorry about that. You've been around me too long. No, I appreciate you saying that.
Well,
but yeah.
But sometimes you're a good person because people want to be around you.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a good thing. Unless you want to be left alone. No, I'm just kidding. But
we'll get into that later, Mike. I mean, I can leave you alone and just never pump your games again.
I appreciate you doing what you're doing.
But no, it definitely is worth your time. Both games are worth your time. Both games are worth your effort. Like I said, if you're looking for something in that vein, Red Sun, from what I've glanced at and had a chance to look at, absolutely. It's going to scratch the itch of anyone wanting to run a Conan game without the IP, because some people are not comfortable in that IP, or some people just aren't comfortable with IP-based games.
Right. Yeah. And then some people, that's all they want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good point. If you want to skirt, like, not quite be played in the Hyborian Age, but you want flavor, that would be Red Sun, and really Savage Kingdoms too. But Red Sun is more. It's in the Bronze Age. Like Iron is just getting discovered, and then if you have Steel, like not every culture has learned the secret of Steel. And that's the whole thing in the Conan movie about the riddle of Steel.
Yes,
that literally comes from that era. Like people always talk about, what does the riddle of Steel mean? And I'm like, well, it's this flesh versus steel thing. We get it from Thulsa Doom, but the deeper meaning actually is couched in like actual real history.
Yes,
and so
it is a real statement. I can't remember where there's was it a Bronze Age, I think, philosopher that came up and coined it.
It was the whole thing about certain, some culture, certain smiths kept the secret of iron and steel from a lot of other cultures for a long time. And, people thought they worked magic, the smiths did in their forges. And perhaps they did to some degree.
But yeah, guys, like I said, if you're looking for good games, I can pin a comment up with the drive-through stuff or Fire in the Head. What you'll be looking for, if you're looking for Savage Kingdoms 3, you're looking for Savage Kingdoms 3. There are different versions on there. You want Savage Kingdoms 3, which is the latest version. It is spoiled animals.
Yeah.
Cats know they rule the world. There's no
they also know, like, when I literally said they weren't up here in my study, but like they literally appeared a minute later. Both of them.
They know when you're talking about them, man.
That's so true. I mean, it's so funny.
talk
They're
trash
really
about
smart.
Scout. I talk trash about Scout all the time, and she shows up. Please don't throw up on me. Mine has chronic rhinitis, so
They are super empathic.
yeah. This one has chronic rhinitis.
Oh.
She's lost her meow.
Aw.
So hey, baby, you can't climb up on me with the cord in the way, sweet pea. But yeah. So guys, hopefully you got something out of this. Unfortunately, Mike, I do have to wrap up because I've got to get geared
You
up
got
here
a
in 20 minutes
game.
for a
Speaking
game.
of gaming, that's right.
If anybody who's watching this doesn't want to watch the channel, we're doing Alternity tonight.
Oh, you're
so,
doing Alternity?
Yeah, we're doing Alternity Dark Matter.
Oh, that was my go-to for about 2 years back
I
in
love Alternity.
the late 90s, I think, early
easily one of my favorite systems of all time.
Yeah, I like it too. In fact, that's what gave me the idea of like, what if I do a D20 as the core and do various types of dice as the bonuses, so to speak, because that's what Alternity did, if I recall.
Yes, it is. It uses called a situation die. Love
the
game.
You get like a good success or an average.
Yep. You get ordinary, good, or amazing.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. You should watch the whole playlist, Mike. It's growing too fast. If you don't catch it soon, you're never going to be able to catch up.
I just don't have any time between acting gigs, although that's slowing down now, so maybe I will be able to.
Yeah.
Plus, I got to catch up on House of the Dragon.
Oh, whatever.
Which has actually been pretty good for season 3 too. It's kind of a sleeper.
Well, I can't say much. I was sitting down last week watching Deadwood, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a pretty good series.
Deadwood in a nutshell. Lots of cursing, gunfights, and plenty of nudity.
Oh, okay. Now I see why you're watching it.
Dude, you think Game of Thrones has nudity. I'm not sure, man. Deadwood might actually beat it.
Okay, nice.
And the good news is you don't have to see Ian McShane nude.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I will start watching it now. But some people might be disappointed, but
well, I don't think I'll see Ian McShane nude. Or Timothy Oliphant can stay completely clothed as well. I'm good without either one of them being nude in the show.
Yeah, I'm honestly good with most people just keeping whatever they need to go on.
Yeah. But there's a reason they say sex sells.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, thoughts, comments, questions, concerns below. Like I said, I'll go in. I'll add a comment here to the channel, to the video, so you guys can find the drive-through easier. And that way you can look at Savage Kingdoms. Hopefully Chris will get to this here in the next few months. Hopefully by the end of the year he can start getting to it.
Yeah, and like I said, he's a good dude. He's behind, but he's an awesome dude.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you run a brand that suddenly takes off like MadScribe kind of did.
Well, he has a good arrangement. I don't want to like say what it is or whatever, but it's like a really good arrangement with the creator. Yeah.
So he's in. If you guys are curious about MadScribe Games, Lord Mattias over at Second Watch with Gary, Matt and Gary did an interview about 3 months ago with him. So you guys can go to the Second Watch, you look that up, and find out all kinds of funny things. It was a pretty wild conversation.
Like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild conversation. It was fun, but it was wild.
Yeah.
But anyways, Mike, appreciate you taking some time, and I was glad to be able to give you some.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Kyle, and everybody who chimed in. Sorry I didn't see your comments, but I'm on this tiny phone, and because my computer decided to freeze up
and hate you forever,
per usual, you know. But the feeling's mutual between me and technology.
But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have fun, and we do hope to see you guys around the game table at some point.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Kyle.